Hello, Euphorians. We are so excited today. We have such a surprise for you. Alex and I are fully committed to being on our absolute best behaviors, right, Alex?
We're going to try our best.
We will. So we have a special guest today, starring from HBO'S Euphoria as younger Jules, also recently shown on Hulu's High Fidelity. We have the multi-talented Clark Furlong with us.
Woo!
Woo! What's up, Clark? How are you?
How's it going?
I am good. How are you?
We're
We're doing pretty good. Clark, 2020 was a crazy, insane year. So much happened. We took the extra free time from the quarantine and the lockdown to start this podcast. What have you been doing to keep busy? How was your year?
What I've been doing to keep busy is I've been going on a lot of walks and practice sometimes.
You have so many interests. So the reason we even asked this is because I can't even tell you, I've never seen a child do more. Like, you literally are acting, dancing, playing the fiddle, you're swimming. Like, let us know, what's your favorite of all those? Is it acting, or do you have one that is a little more like relaxing for you, especially during quarantine?
Acting is really my favorite one. It's fun for me and it lets me do what I want to do. Like my mission right now is to meet cool people and see the world.
I love that.
Acting is the
goal.
That I can do that, and I think it's so much fun.
I love that. I also love your setting,
Amazing.
like the fireplace and everything. This is such a vibe.
Yeah, we see that your dog just joined us. Love that.
What's your dog's name?
His name is Orbit. That is
nice.
Two.
I love it. Oh, you have two dogs. Is the other one Blarney? I did my research.
Yes.
Oh my
the
God.
other one
Stalker.
I did my Clark research. Well, that's so great. In terms of where you're at right now, so you're on your family's farm, correct?
Yes.
Give us the lay of the land. What is this farm like?
What type of animals do you have on the farm?
We have 3 goats, 3 chickens right now, and then 2 dogs and 2 cats. We recently just downsized with, unfortunately, getting rid of the mule.
No.
I saw you at donkeys and I was so excited. Oh, no way. That's sad.
Well, Clark, I love goats and chickens, so I gotta know.
Ugh.
Goats or chickens, and do you have like a special bond with like a certain goat or chicken? Do you have like a homie?
Oh my God, Alex. That's the chickens. Alex has like drawings of chickens everywhere. It's a weird interest of his. Don't ask me.
Chickens and goats are really fun. Goats, when they're babies, are so cute. Especially in person when they're really fluffy in the wintertime. You can just put them in your lap. If I had to choose one,
that's hard. We put you in a really hard position.
So hard. They're both so great. The rooster that we do have right now was the one that I named. His name is Gandalf.
Oh my gosh, I love that. We literally just watched all the Lord of the Rings during quarantine just to rewatch them. We're like huge fans, but that's another geek world to be a part of. I love it. Well, that's so fun. Is it nice for you do you often get to escape to the farm after working in cities like LA and New York?
Yes, it's quite nice because the hustle and bustle of LA and New York is really great. It's fun, but after a long time it can wear you out, and coming back here, it's very relaxing. Like the air is great and I'm home and it's far enough away from everything that I can just be like,
Yeah, especially I can imagine after doing like a big project, just getting that nice relaxation away.
Yeah. Now that you've been in a couple shows, do you ever get recognized out on the street by people when you're in like New York or LA or even there in Virginia?
I mean, we would recognize you immediately. We would, but we're super fans. So like
It hasn't happened on the street, but it has happened in a casting office. One of the casting directors came out, saw me, instantly turned around and walked back inside. And then the entire office had to go to the bathroom. And it was like one after another, stand there for like minutes, then come back out and go back in.
And were they mostly like adult, like funny. Older, or were these like okay, that probably, makes it even funny.
Probably around your age.
I want to say that. Like I said, I mean, it'd be scary to like confront any of the cast members in public. Like me and Alex always say, if we ever saw anyone, we'd probably play it really cool and not bother them. But like, I feel like with you, I'd have to say hello. Well, that's so fun.
All very amazing people. They are all so sweet and so generous.
Nice.
We love that. I mean, that's what we love about the podcast. Our Euphorians are so devoted. Like, it's crazy. I thought I was a super fan, and you can't even imagine how many like critiques we get. Like, you know, just like funny ones about like, we'll analyze the episodes, and the fans just know everything.
Yeah, we have to be very on the ball, because if you get anything wrong, the listeners will let you know right away. But it's good. It keeps us on our toes.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah. Well, we've lived in both New York and LA. Do you have like a preference of either city when you go to visit?
Yeah.
Oh, LA, because I can surf there.
Because you can surf there?
You can surf.
Oh my gosh. So you surf too?
Yes. I didn't have the opportunity.
Clark.
You do everything.
So you surf, you dance 2 different styles.
Probably more than 2.
I've danced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh my gosh.
8, I think. I might be leaving one out.
Stop!
Dancing, singing, acting, painting, surfing,
swimming.
We also heard a rumor online that you enjoy hanging out with the local blacksmith. Are you also adding smithing to your resume?
Is that even how you say it? Smithing?
Yeah.
Yes, it is how you say it.
Sure. I'm like laughing. I don't know.
That was actually a few years ago.
Okay.
You guys probably know this, but I am in a band with my siblings, and we would play at the farmers market. And when we weren't playing, or when we just finished up, we'd go over to their family's booth. We got to know him there. He took us out there, or took me out there, and we made a knife. But the first thing that he said to me when we went out there was, "You were working, you know, with a burning hot forge right next to me." He says, "You are working with fire. You are going to get burned."
You're like, I've played Jules in Euphoria. I'm fine.
Hardcore. Did you name your knife?
Why would he name the
Oh
knife?
No, I didn't.
Because you have to give like knives and swords like a name.
Oh, that's very Lord of the Rings of you.
I know, that's why I asked.
Good.
Think about it, Clark. Think about it. Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like we have to, of course, dive right into Euphoria. That's what our listeners are here for. They're so excited. As we mentioned before, this year's been absolutely insane. We went from getting photos tweeted out of the cast doing table reads to then literally the next Monday, the announcement of Euphoria not being filmed anymore. So they got the special episodes out, which, praise be, we are so thankful for. But other than that, that's kind of like we mentioned before, why we even started this. We wanted to provide, you know, the fans something to work with until they start rolling again. So with all that being said, what inspired you to transition acting from like a passion into an actual career? What triggered you to want to do that? Or who was your inspiration?
Right from the start, actually. Yeah. She said, "This is the thing that I love just as much as you guys. This is the most important thing to me in the world. And if we're going to do it, then we're going to go big or go home."
I love that.
We started out right from the beginning as a profession, not as a hobby.
Nice.
Wait, I kind of love that. So you just went right for it. And then I saw like a post where you were holding like all these auditions. It was really cute. You were like holding all of them and you were like, look, like just wait till you get the yes. Takes like hard work. I mean, That's crazy. So how many auditions were you going to? Were you just like immediately just flying out to LA all the time, or did you live there, or?
No, we've actually always lived here, except for in my lifetime so far. I was born in LA, so I am an LA kid. But we moved here when I was like 11 months or something.
Okay.
It was probably 2 or 3 times a week that we were driving up to New York.
Wow.
We started locally though.
Okay.
Took, I want to say a few months to start getting auditions in New York.
Wow. Oh yeah, I forget you're close to New York, so that was probably easier. I was thinking you were flying to LA each time.
Yeah, how long is that? How long is the drive to New York?
That depends on which way you go.
The scenic route?
If you go the scenic route, which is always 6 hours, or you can take 95, which is 4 hours, or I think we had it be 8 one time.
Oof.
That's a sacrifice to have to go back and forth, or but you're homeschool, correct? So
yeah.
Okay, that makes it convenient.
Cool.
That's crazy. That's a lot. So you were going to New York for auditions. So
I actually was homeschooled until about till COVID actually, because the online courses, all public schools in my area are now online. So I'm like, mom's like,
funny.
Perfect.
So you're like in public school now, but you're remote.
But it's remote public school.
I love that for you. That's so funny.
That's wild. How's it been? Is it fun?
Yeah.
Or is it kind of like?
Do your classmates recognize you? They have to, right?
Really
Has anyone asked?
No.
Nice.
Yeah, we're all.
I mean, that's nice. Yeah, that's good for you. I'm only shocked because I'm like, what are these kids watching? I guess that's Euphoria. That's true. That's true. That's true. Well, okay, so give us some background. I noticed you just recently posted on Instagram your audition reel, which was just amazing. You were only like 11 years old in it, right?
Yes.
And you're 13 now?
I am 14 now.
14.
Nice.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
So I don't know, just tell us about the experience. I know you did in the post, but tell us here on the podcast. What was that like?
Very interesting. So
give us the scoop.
From the audition video, as you can see, I am wearing a nightgown and combat boots.
I love it.
That's what Jules was wearing in the script, and we decided, you know what, it's what she's wearing, so
go big, go home.
What we're gonna wear.
Yeah.
So, in the comfort of the home studio, that's what we did. I dressed up in the nightgown and combat boots, never thinking I'd have to put it on again after that. And it was awesome. And
I'm sure it helped you get into character too, to be like fully, like you said, go big, go home. You're like fully in the outfit. You're ready to go.
Yep.
Yes.
Kind of on that same page. This is such an intense role. You're playing a suicidal trans teenager trapped in a mental institution. How do you prepare for a role like that with such intensity? How do you get in the headspace of a character that's in such a difficult position?
To get into that headspace at the start was
probably
interesting. Tough. It was like, for me, it's if you know the character or who the character is, it's just a matter of how you decide to portray them. To get into that headspace, actually, during some of the shots during the hall scene, Sam would keep people from talking to me so that I could stay in that headspace, and he'd put me in a little room off to the side, so then when they were ready to shoot again, they'd have me come out and go from there. But
So you weren't distracted or like, you know what I mean?
I wasn't distracted.
Like, did you listen to music or anything? Like, do you have any rituals, like with any show, not just Euphoria, before walking onto set and they yell action? Like, are you doing anything? Or are you very much like, you know what I mean? Like, do you listen to music? Do you read the script over and over?
We do a lot of work on the scene ahead of time, of course. And we come up with a cliche for the character. Like, what is their cliche? And you don't understand me was the cliche for Jules. And so when we're in the scene and I need to be in that headspace, I say the cliche, or I think the cliche in my head, and that gets me back on track into what Jules is feeling, experiencing, and ultimately what's happening, if that makes sense.
No, it definitely does.
That's super cool. That's really cool to hear about your process in there.
Yeah, I'm always so fascinated with how actors get into their zone, you know, because I know nothing about it.
when you were like starting to think about acting more seriously and are really preparing for roles like this, do you have any favorite actors or any actors where you try to emulate their style or process?
No.
Cool.
That's kind of awesome.
I like that.
It's kind of just, I don't know how to say it, like me.
I actually love that. That's really cool.
I don't really have a great answer for that, you know.
No, that's okay.
That's a good answer.
That's actually like better than, you know, because like you want to be yourself and you want to pitch yourself out there, you know.
You got to be you.
Gotta be you. Yeah. Well, on that note, with like Alex said, with how intense that role was, what would you say in the beginning of episode 4? What was the most challenging part of shooting that scene with Sam's direction? Were there any times where you were just emotionally drained or?
It wasn't challenging. It was super fun.
I love
it. Was
cool.
Just amazing. You know, the people there were so nice, so like they were always looking out for me, and there wasn't really any parts that I was like, it doesn't click. It was really just like it was amazing. We have a process that we do before the audition. We create an act structure and we do all of our work, and I become very familiar and comfortable with it. So then in the audition, for a guest star, they're looking for someone who can already do the job that they need done on set.
That totally makes sense.
Nice.
Well, you got the job done, because let me tell you, obviously we've seen this scene a million times because we've watched the show a number of times, but we rewatched your scene in particular to prepare, and I totally cried. I was like sobbing. And no, I'm not lying. I always cry. I'm not like flattering you. Your scene really triggers something in me. I don't even know what, because I can't relate directly to Jules' experience, but just the way you executed that scene, it just evokes so much intense emotion, and you just feel for Jules as a character so intensely. So I just want to honestly like give you mad props, because you just killed it. But on that note, I do have a question, which is, did you get to speak with Hunter Schafer at all in terms of like mapping out what Jules would be like personality wise when you were acting the part? Because I feel like you emulated Hunter Schafer's version of Jules so well in your scene.
Oh, thank you. But actually, no. We met like, instead of ships crossing in the night, it was ships crossing in the day. I was coming out from lunch or coming out of the building to go to lunch, and she was just getting out of her car, arriving. And so we met completely by chance, right there.
How funny.
Nice.
I don't know why. I just
cool.
pictured maybe you had met because like I said, even your mannerisms and like the way you held yourself in the scene reminded me of Hunter Schafer and the way she holds herself in all of her scenes, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Sam's just amazing.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean,
That's
everyone
awesome.
on Euphoria is just incredible, but yeah, great job. I'm not kidding you. Completely was sobbing on my bed.
With things being kind of like more fun on set, we saw there was a scene where you're strapped to the gurney and Sam asked you to try to escape from it. And I think you said that you escaped a couple times. Like,
yes.
What's the secret? If I'm ever strapped to a gurney and I have to get out,
I hope that's never the case.
How did you do it? What's the trick?
Well, the first thing was they strapped my arms across my chest and my hands on my shoulders, and they had them straps on my feet and on my hands, but they didn't have one around my stomach, so I could bend my knees and pull myself down through my arms and turn around.
I love that.
Good to know.
It was crazy.
So
Originally, he said to me, Clark, I want you to try to get out of this. And so, I pulled on it and he said, no, really try to get out. And I said, okay. And I thought about it for a second. I was like, how can I move? And so I slid down.
Nice.
And I forget, what was the point of that? Was that just to get into character? Or I forget, you don't get out in the scene, do you?
I do not.
No.
I think he really just wanted to see if I could get out.
Okay, so Clark, what if you had any like fun facts from Euphoria at all, like to share with us? Do you have any, interesting things about shooting on set?
Yes, actually. I was the first shot of the first season on the first day.
That's like a lot of pressure too.
The elevator scene, actually.
The what scene? Sorry.
Elevator, when the mom and the doctor and me, we all get into the elevator and we go down.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
And we were shooting in an old abandoned mental institution. Creepiest place I've ever been.
I can imagine.
Wait, I'm glad you said that because that's actually something I thought of. I was like, were you on a soundstage or was that an actual institution? So was it abandoned, you said? Give us all the deets.
So during one of the shots where Jesse is pounding on the door in the quiet room, Sam is saying, more, like really hammer on it. And so he's hammering on it and his fist goes through the drywall door. And now there's like a big hole right there, right above the window. And he goes, oh. And,
oh my gosh. Did
anyone else?
Did it throw you off?
No.
No, because that's a perfect example
so funny.
Where I'd start laughing. I would like ruin the scene.
I love that.
Another fun fact was the window that we are pounding on, that I am pounding on, is originally it was regular glass, but then Sam was like, after putting his hand through the door, was like, oh, this is glass. We should probably put something over it. So they had a piece of plexiglass that they put over the window.
Oh my gosh, that's super funny.
I love
it probably wouldn't be great to put a child actor's fist through a sheet of glass. So with like the funny kind of atmosphere on set and things being a little chill, are there any other like funny behind the scenes stories or outtakes or like bloopers from filming your scenes there?
Yes. So yeah, the scene where Alan
the orderly.
Yes. Wait, no. Yes. The drink, the can, when he brings it to me and we go through that whole scene of obtaining the bottle. Sam has me he wants me to rip it open, and so I do. And the props guy says to me, you know, I was up until like 12 a.m. poking holes in like 24 bottles. And you know that's the shot they're gonna use. And it was. Yeah, the first can wasn't a prop one. It was supposed to be just the can that we poured out of.
Totally.
But we ended up using it in the scene to tear. And Sam lets the camera run, and for I had rehearsed the scene that way and just going straight through, and so he let that happen, and so we used the can that we had.
That you were just sitting there.
That was the can that was unpunctured, and that's the one that I really had to work to rip open.
I love that so much. That's great. Yeah, because you have such a serious scene, so we were like, I doubt you have many bloopers, plus you're a great actor, so I'm sure you didn't mess up, but like, we did see they released those bloopers, so we had to ask. So that was like the main one, the can.
The can, yes.
I love that.
Jinx.
Excuse me. So did you get to watch part 2, Jules, the special episode, I'm sure?
Did.
You did.
Nice. So we have to ask, like...
So, tragic for me, because originally they wanted me to be in that episode, but I was out filming in Germany.
No, I was just gonna say, I actually remember I said that, and I'll show you on our podcast where I said it, but I thought we were all like predicting who was gonna be in the special episodes, and I said you because I saw a photo of you getting a COVID test. I don't remember where, it might have been New York or in Germany, who knows, but like I thought it was for Euphoria because it was around the same time, so that makes sense. And I predicted you, I was like, that makes sense, it's Jules' episode. So they wanted you to be in it.
They did.
No.
Yeah, they had to rewrite some of it.
Interesting.
So it goes. But what did you think about the episode? And do you think that there's a future for rules? People like are so invested in that relationship, and sometimes it's like they could work, and sometimes it's like there's no hope. What do you think?
I have no idea. Sam is a crazy man.
Yeah.
And he's always surprising me. So I can really not say. I personally would love to see rules work out, but who knows?
And yeah, like who doesn't? Everyone's such a rules stan in the fandom.
I think we definitely fall into that category a little bit.
We do. We want to see them thrive. So the coolest part about that episode was that Hunter Schafer got to work behind the camera. And I actually saw on your Insta story today that you were literally using a camera and filming your sister. Are you at all planning on ever getting behind the camera? Is that like a goal of yours?
I think it would be fun. Would I want to do it professionally? No, probably not. But it is definitely something that I want to learn about. It is, it's another art form that just, I want to know what that's all about.
That seems very on theme for Clark. I feel like everything you do, you almost just want to try it out. You know what I mean? It might not be your favorite, but because you really just do everything. What do you not do, Clark?
What are you bad at?
You're making us look bad. I'm like 30 and I'm like, I haven't done any of these things.
What are you like really, really bad at?
Is there any? Yeah, take your time. We're catching you off guard.
I mean, maybe there's nothing.
I'm a horrible actor. Like, I love doing this type of stuff because it's very natural, but I could never act. I would start laughing all the time. You're like really mature.
That happened a lot at the start.
Yeah, I bet. I'm trying to think of anything else about the special episode. Did you have anything major about that?
I want to hear what Clark's really bad at.
Oh yeah, we haven't answered that.
There's gotta be like, is it math? I can't do
Why? Because you're bad at math?
I can't do math to save my life.
Math is one of my favorite subjects. It would have to be spelling and handwriting.
Oh, okay, we gotcha. Grammar.
All right, at least
Not my strong suit.
At least there's something.
Back to Euphoria. Our listeners are constantly, I know this is like very random, but they're always wondering if the younger characters that were cast hang out or talk or have even met. Did you meet any of the other Euphoria characters that play the younger versions?
I met the younger version of Kat.
Okay.
Briefly, I think.
You had that other Instagram post too where you were like, spoiler alert, like Kat's finally with the good guy. Is Kat one of your favorite characters, or do you have a favorite that you relate to on the show? We all have our favorites. It's okay.
A favorite character?
Or not even favorite, just one that you might connect to personally.
There's none really. I haven't gone through any of the stuff that they have gone through. I haven't experienced any of that. So I really...
Or like, who are you rooting for? Like, even though you haven't experienced it, like, do you have someone that you just like to watch on screen or admire?
All of them.
That's a good answer. It's a hard question.
It's all great. In the episode, whoever is like in the darkest spot, we're rooting for them.
I love that.
My message I like to convey is love yourself, and that the person who needs the most help with there, that just makes me want to go, you can do it.
I love that. You know what? That's like such a good transition, because I had to bring up your post where it's spelled, for our listeners that can't visualize this, it's Euphoria, so like Euphoria. And you talk about loving yourself, like you're worthy of love. All those messages are so incredible, especially coming from a young person. What would you have to say to any of our listeners that might feel, not confident or don't love themselves?
Might be in a tough situation.
What would Clark's advice be?
You are worthy of love. You be you. Don't be afraid to be you. And you are the only you that will ever be. So
that's profound.
Be the you that you want to be.
I love that.
That's beautifully said.
I know, that's so like mature. I don't know, I just feel like young people these days, there's so much going on, and like you said, like you haven't gone through any of it because you're not, in that Euphoria world, and a lot of it's exaggerated and fantastical. So we just love though that you spread that message. That's so important, especially today. So we appreciate that you do that. Thanks for spreading that positivity and sweetness. I love that. Anything else, Alex, you can think of Euphoria based?
Maybe it's time for a little social action.
Yeah.
What do you think, Paige?
Would you be down to play our game? It's So Euphoric Socials. So we're going to show you 3 posts from your account, and we just want to hear the story behind the photo, why you posted it. You get the gist. So the first one...
Just what's the backstory?
What is the backstory?
What was going on?
So this one, the first one, I'm going to hold up to the camera. It looks like a shot of you with makeup. Just give us the lowdown. What inspired you?
Very well done Euphoria makeup.
Very well done.
Like, well executed.
Like, is this another list of things you do?
No, actually. That was right after an audition, I think. And that audition was for a character a fabulous character who wears makeup and dresses in the fabulous clothes that he can find, and
so unrelated to Euphoria.
Yeah, because like Hunter's there in the corner, and then we've got, look at that. That's a look. So you did that, or an artist did? I missed that part.
Their intern did.
Our intern, yes.
Okay, so I love that, and not Euphoria related, just for fun.
We hadn't gotten to. After seeing all of the posts about, the makeup artists doing these, and we were like, oh, we didn't get to do any of those. So how fun would it be to do it ourselves?
Well, you look great.
We this year for Halloween dressed as Halloween Rue and Jules. So we did a little Euphoria makeup of our own.
And
awesome. In October.
We were so excited. We expected nothing from it, and Zendaya liked it, and we freaked out.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because we were in lockdown, so we couldn't leave. Here, I'll show you. Let's see. I'll try to find it real quick.
Oh, yes. Oh, that looks great.
Thank you. We'll send you some photos later. It was so fun.
We just stayed at home and just hung out here, but like we really love Halloween, so we had to like do it big, even though we had nowhere to go.
Oh yeah.
So we're inspired by your post. Okay, Alex is gonna get this next one.
Yeah, let's see so I thought it was super cool that you were into painting as well. So I'd love to just like hear a little bit about this particular painting because I think it's fantastic. And also, how on earth did you end up selling a painting to a gallery at 14 years old?
Yeah, impressive.
That I have no clue. The story behind the painting is that actually was kind of an experiment-ish. I had just we had just taken down the sliding door in to the deck, and we had a lot of mesh from it. You know, the fine like plastic mesh that keeps bugs from coming in.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had a lot of that, and I wanted to do something with it. And one day I woke up and I was like, wait, I've got it. And so I laid it over the piece of canvas, and I just painted, and in certain spots I'd push it down, bring it up, and it would give this really cool texture to it. And it made, I don't know, it was just awesome.
I love it.
Very painting cool. So, how do I say this? Different, but the same in parts. Like it connected different parts of it, like with the all of the open space in it. It kind of brought that into the darker bits.
I love that. You need to continue this on the side because this is great. And honestly, our walls, it looks like our walls are really full, but we have brick walls on the other side. And we need to get some art from Clark.
Yeah, I mean,
because this piece, like, I would hang that.
Super cool.
So the next post is this one right here. And I love it. First of all, it looks professional. Like it doesn't look like you took it, and also the outfit is fire. So what was going on here? And once again, are we gonna add modeling too? Like what's next?
I have been thinking about it.
Oh my gosh, you should. I already mentioned like I could picture Clark being a model for many designers. But anyways,
I'm right in the awkward phase of being 14. They really want 15 and up, and
that makes sense.
Back then I was 3-4 inches shorter, and you know, you really, what they say is you need to be like 5'9" or 5'7" or high.
That makes sense. Who
did the
pants?
I think we'll probably be seeing in something.
The pants are cool though, like the flowers on the pants. Are those yours? Do you still have those?
No, I don't. That was actually taken during a photo shoot. The backstory behind that is a photographer called Felicia McGowan. She asked if she could take some pictures of me, and we of course agreed. And she brought all of these really cool hip clothes from a brand called The Series, and we went into Brooklyn and we took all these photos, and that was a favorite. So
I love it. It's very on point for Jules too. Not that that's related, but I feel like this is something Jules would wear. Or Hunter Schafer.
It's got a vibe.
It has a vibe.
It's nice. Love that. That's so cool.
Well, Clark, this has just been amazing. Alex and I are just like blown away by your many talents and accomplishments at such a young age. You should be just beyond proud of yourself. It's so cool. Our listeners are going to be so excited to hear about all this Euphoria tea. You wanted to ask about his future projects or what he's working on.
Yeah. what's next for Clark Furlong? Are we going to see you on screens in 2021? Maybe a little Euphoria season 2 action?
If you're allowed to talk about it.
I don't know about Euphoria season 2, but the more fans ask for it, the more likely it is.
All right.
Euphorians, you heard it here first.
We'll definitely put the word out to our listeners for sure.
We will. That's so cool. What about anything else though outside of Euphoria?
Yes, there is a new show on Apple TV coming soon called Lisi's Story, and I play Paul Landon in that. So.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting!
We'll
Can you give us any backstory on the show? What is it called?
It's called Lisi's Story. It was written by Stephen King and is now being turned into a film.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing, Clark. Stephen King.
We are huge horror fiends, so we'll definitely be watching that.
I love that for you. Well, that's just amazing. We're just, again, so thankful that you even came on here. And thank you for being our very first guest. We won't forget it.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here today. This was awesome. We hugely appreciate it. Clark Furlong, you can catch him on HBO'S Euphoria, now streaming on HBO Max. It was great to have you, Clark.
You were so euphoric, Clark.
To be here. It was so nice meeting you both.
You too, Clark. Thanks so much.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Like today's episode? Great. We love that for you. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave us a podcast review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever the fuck you listen to us weekly. And be sure to follow us on Instagram at SO_euphoric for all the Euphoria updates you could ever possibly want in your life. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out, bitches.